Joined by head coach Kevin Epley here at the Carolina Tennis Center, where the Gamecocks just wrapped up a 4-1 victory over Missouri 2 days ago. South Carolina getting a 4-0 victory over number 20 Arkansas. So a perfect weekend, much needed weekend for South Carolina. Coach, let's go back a couple of days first to that Arkansas match. It seemed like that was probably the best match South Carolina's had so far this season, and certainly the biggest win in terms of beating a top 20 team. Just how did you feel about the team's performance overall in that match?
Oh, we felt good. I mean, doubles, when we have our full lineup, it's hard to beat us in doubles. We're not really losing those doubles points. But that hasn't necessarily translated in us to winning singles. And we've been working with each of the girls, and they've been working on their games and, trying to piece it all together. And we knew we were running out of runway before we had to get some good wins. I mean, we've had some very close matches against some of the best teams in the country where we felt like we were going to win, and we just didn't. So we're still dealing. We have a lot of youth on this team, and we've got some veterans, but there's a big gap between their experience and the young ones, and they're just negotiating their first full SEC season. So, but it was good. It was good that we had a few people step up. Emma's been struggling a little bit this weekend. She stepped up and got 2 wins, and it's been huge for her. Her confidence, her mentality was better both matches, and that just helps a ton. So Sylvia had a great match Friday. It was maybe not as sharp today, but other people stepped up, because on Friday against Arkansas at 1 and 2, we didn't get very far, and today they got the points for us. So it's a team sport, and some days you're going to play well and others won't. We're still looking for that match where we get everybody playing top notch, because if we can get that going, we're going to be in pretty good shape.
I felt like in that Arkansas match, just from the beginning, in doubles, it got off to such a quick start. Just everybody seemed really focused, and just I don't know. It's sort of just, there was sort of a good vibe. It just felt like everybody was ready to go, and it seemed to carry over into singles. Just, I mean, the match went really quick. I mean, under 2 hours, there were just, South Carolina just kind of dominated in some of those matches. Did you sort of sense that maybe coming in, or just during warm-ups, that just everybody was really eager to get out there?
Well, it's a good question. I texted Ty and Kennedy the night before. I said we were going to win. You could feel it brewing. You could feel, that the team was coming together and that girls were starting to pick up their games. And number 2 doubles really set the stage for us against Arkansas, coming out just swinging like crazy, closing like crazy. And you felt it in our doubles warm-up. You just felt that the girls were in a different place and ready to prove themselves, maybe a little chip on their shoulder and saying, look, oh, wait a minute, we are good. Let's start proving it to people. So I think that was the difference, and I'm glad we got it together today as well.
I say doubles was certainly more competitive out here. Missouri got that win there at number 2, but South Carolina prevailing on courts 1 and 3, and then the singles. South Carolina again, just sort of like that Arkansas match, got off to just such huge leads on so many of the courts that kind of made it impossible for Missouri to really kind of come back. And they sort of came back a little bit in some of those, but in the end, Gamecocks kind of just put the gas pedal down and sort of just finished it off there.
Yeah, that's been something, like I said, that's something we've been talking about, closing things out. If you remember that LSU match, we had so many opportunities to win across so many courts, and we just didn't go out and get it. And the reality is there's going to be times where you have to step up and you have to go claim the match. You have to go take it. And we've had some of that over the last few matches. It's good to see that. That means the freshmen are growing up a little bit. And our veterans at 1 and 2 today, they really took care of business. That may have been Megan's one of her best matches all year. And Mia, I think the first 2 games was a little off, but after that, she just went to the races. So, I think we have a couple weeks before we get out again, and we're going to get to work on specific things. And we're just happy to be going into this break with a couple wins under our belt, and particularly 2 ranked wins.
Well, last question, I just want to ask you a little more about Allie. She had a really good weekend here, and someone being a freshman. I mean, gets a couple wins in doubles. Didn't finish today, but did get a really quick win there against Arkansas. Just how important was that just for her from a confidence standpoint with someone who, is new and someone you're really counting on in this lineup? And it's tough. She had to come in here January, not a lot of time to get ready for college tennis, but, she's someone, you really have to look for down the stretch here at these last, few SEC matches, and just seemed like it was just a really good weekend and a much needed weekend for her.
Yeah, for her and Emma. And Allie, right, you come in January, it's an adult dose. You're going to get hit by all sorts of stuff, and you got to figure out how to negotiate it. And she played a few tough matches, but pressure in college tennis is a whole different world. I mean, it's serious, and she's been up and down with it, but she's been learning. She's been plugging away. To be honest, she's doing better than I thought she would. And the double stuff with her is pretty remarkable, to just come in as a freshman and dominate at her spot with Anna at 3 doubles. I mean, they're just solid. She's got great hands at the net. She's got a great serve. Anna's been doing a good job of moving off the serve, making balls in doubles. They do a good job of making a lot of balls. And then, the singles is just, we're going to work hard in the next 2 weeks, get her motivated. She can play with anybody. She just has to believe it, and she just needs some more experience. So every one of these matches, she's getting more and more. So just kind of plug away with her, and I would suspect by the end of the year she'll be firing.
Well, you did mention Emma, so let's talk about her real quick, just because she did really have a big weekend. Was there something different she did out there? It seemed to me that just watching her, maybe she kind of just took some pace off the ball a little bit, maybe wasn't trying to swing as hard and go for as many winners, was sort of keeping the ball maybe in play, and then picking better moments to go for those winners to put the point away.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. She's more than anything, I think she put a lot of pressure on herself after having a successful campaign last year, and she's been doing that for a while, and I think she's just finding ways personally to take some of that pressure off. Her mentality has been fantastic the last 2 matches, as far as her body language, her spirit, her self-talk. Those are all things that are driving everything. So you see that going with her, she's going to be in a good place. I mean, she's hitting her forehand a little better right now. She's getting more shoulder turn. She's getting more rotation on the ball. It's coming a little bit heavier off. She's swinging on her backhand. She's hitting her serve a little bit more. But it's all driven by her state of mind. She's just putting too much pressure on herself. I think she went home. Her brother is just having a fantastic freshman campaign, and I think she watched him and saw how free he was hitting and competing. And really, that was the goal getting into the weekend with her. I said, look, there's nothing other to focus on other than let's just compete. You know how to play tennis. Let's take all of the variables out of it, and just let's get your competitive self back, because she was lacking a little bit of that too, and that's just uncharacteristic. And we knew if we get that back, her game will come with it.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time out here. Great weekend for South Carolina. Now I got a couple weeks here to rest a little bit and get ready for Ole Miss, Mississippi State coming up.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. 2 good teams. SEC, brutal again. The bottom of the SEC last year are now pretty competitive groups. I mean, Missouri's a ranked team now. I mean, they're doing a great job. Arkansas doing a great job. Auburn doing a great job. So a lot of these teams are very, very tough right now, and we'll have our work cut out for us. Ole Miss is really good. They just beat Auburn 4-0, and Auburn was 2 in the conference. Mississippi State is doing well. So we just got to get ready for every match. We're going to focus on getting our games right going into those matches. That'll be a real good test for us in 2 weeks, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.